Hello everyone, welcome back to the Global Conflict News channel. Please subscribe my channel because today we are diving into one of the most shocking developments in the ongoing war, a night where drones pierced Russian defenses and set Moscow ablaze. What unfolded was not only a powerful demonstration of Ukraine's growing capabilities but also a humiliating exposure of the vulnerabilities inside Russia's most fortified city. This event is a turning point in the conflict, one that illustrates how modern technology is changing the very meaning of warfare and redefining security for nations once thought untouchable. From the exterior perspective, the scenes were terrifying and unforgettable. Moscow, a city renowned for its towering skyline, historic structures, and bustling streets, suddenly became a theater of fire and chaos. Drones streaked across the night sky, their engines buzzing like angry wasps as explosions echoed through the capital. Flames rose from apartment complexes, commercial towers, and even areas close to critical infrastructure, creating a horizon lined with smoke. Videos circulating online showed residents screaming, alarms blaring, and the once orderly heart of Russia dissolving into confusion. For the Russian public, who often believed the war was far away, the sight of fire swallowing their capital became a grim reminder that no city, no matter how secure, is beyond reach. Moving to the interior perspective, the impact was not just physical but deeply psychological. Within the walls of Moscow's apartments and offices, people were jolted awake by sirens and blasts, rushing down stairwells in panic. Families huddled in basements, unsure if more drones were incoming. Inside the halls of power, Russian leaders faced embarrassment as their promises of unshakable security collapsed in front of millions of citizens. Confidence among ordinary Muscovites has been eroded, and whispers of frustration toward the government are growing louder. While the damage to buildings is visible, the internal damage to trust and morale may be far more devastating. The performance of these drones tells the clearest story of all. Designed for long-range missions, they traveled hundreds of kilometers undetected, slipping through radar networks and evading costly air defense systems. Flying low and in coordinated formations, some drones targeted military installations while others struck symbolic landmarks and residential towers, creating both tactical and psychological damage. Their accuracy was remarkable, hitting structures with precision that exposed Russian defenses as both outdated and overwhelmed. What makes this performance even more striking is how affordable and flexible these drones are compared to the multi-million-dollar systems meant to stop them. Ukraine has effectively turned the tables by showing how performance is not measured in size but in speed, adaptability, and impact. Safety features were at the core of this confrontation, though the results revealed how fragile Russia's supposed safety really is. The Russian military has long boasted of layered air defense networks capable of stopping everything from ballistic missiles to fighter jets. Yet against swarms of cheap drones, these systems appeared clumsy and ineffective. Footage showed interceptor missiles streaking into the night sky, some hitting their targets, but too many drones still slipped through and found their mark. For ordinary citizens, Moscow's safety became an illusion shattered in a single night. On the other hand, the drones themselves carried built-in features that made them effective at surviving long journeys. Low radar signatures, pre-programmed routes, and in some cases, the ability to alter paths mid-flight to avoid interception. The contrast between advertised safety and actual vulnerability could not be clearer. The unique selling points of these drones explain why they have become such a centerpiece of Ukraine's strategy. They are inexpensive compared to missiles, easy to produce in large numbers, and capable of carrying different payloads depending on the mission. They create constant fear because they can appear at any time, day or night, hovering silently before striking. Unlike traditional weapons, drones offer a combination of precision, affordability, and psychological warfare that makes them uniquely suited to this conflict. Their ability to bypass billion-dollar defenses with a fraction of the cost is their most significant advantage, and every successful strike further undermines Russia's claims of invulnerability. The price factor is perhaps the most devastating element of this equation. A single kamikaze drone can cost anywhere from a few thousand to tens of thousands of dollars. By contrast, a Russian interceptor missile can cost millions. This imbalance means Ukraine can launch dozens of drones for the cost of a single Russian defense response, exhausting Moscow's resources while keeping its own spending low. Beyond the immediate battlefield, the price of repairing burned-out buildings, calming terrified citizens, and restoring public confidence adds billions more to Russia's financial strain. In economic terms, drones have created a lopsided battlefield where a weaker nation can bleed a stronger one simply by forcing it to spend disproportionately more on defense and recovery. In conclusion, the drone strikes that pierced Russian defenses and set Moscow ablaze are not just about one night of fire and destruction, they are a clear signal that the war has entered a new stage. Ukraine has shown it can strike at the symbolic heart of its enemy, and in doing so, has revealed the vulnerabilities of even the most heavily defended cities. For Russia, the Inferno in Moscow is a humiliation that challenges its image of strength and invulnerability. For Ukraine, it is proof that determination, innovation, and adaptability can outweigh sheer numbers and traditional might. The world is watching, and the lesson is unmistakable. Modern war is no longer decided only by tanks and planes but by the ingenuity of smaller, smarter weapons that can outthink and outmaneuver the giants. The blaze over Moscow is both a literal and symbolic firestorm, one that will shape the course of this conflict and redefine the future of global warfare.